Hey y'all, it's me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
And
hi.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Is this thing on?
Is it? Are we?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Hey.
Hey. We are the Bama Geeks. I am Brock. That's Jessica. And below us, Bo and Kevin.
What's up?
A mighty fine Sunday evening to you. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, we're just going to be talking about some Arnold tonight.
Again? Well, no, not again.
Nope.
No, we didn't do that last time. That's right.
No.
We just did another 80s movie. Okay.
Well, the only recurring theme is 80s and also tied to Stephen King.
Yeah. That's the recurring theme.
Richard Bachman, sir.
Yes.
Maximum Overdrive was terrible. If you missed our last review, awful movie. This one, we'll let you know in just a minute.
No, we're going to let you know what Brock thinks. The rest of us have our own opinions of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is in the ongoing discussion of the movies that Brock has missed out on or has not seen.
Yeah, and so, of course, these movies have all been picked by all of you in the chat as we've done these episodes, these live streams. So we really appreciate these suggestions. Kind of. Stephen King adjacent. I'm going to say we appreciate the suggestions. I'm not going to say we appreciate the movies that have been chosen.
So far, one of them, it's been a real stinker.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive was, but we're gonna get through this list. We've got a whole list written down, and we thank you for those, and we hope that you're enjoying us giving those discussions. If you want to find where you can, or if you know what, I'm just in that type of brain right now. I guess it just blipped. If you want to find everything to do with the podcast before we get started, head over to bamageeks.com. And if you want to brave the world of social media right now, you can find us at Bama Geeks. We promise that we will try to bring you fun and just fun. Yeah. Take you away from the world that is right now.
So say a good break away from everything else right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about movies that are getting up to 40 years old. So, hey,
Yeah. Back in our day. But also be sure to join us. If you want to venture onto Facebook, just look up Bama Geeks Front Porch and join us there and have fun. Fun talk. And if you want to support the podcast in any way financially, we've got Patreon, we've got YouTube memberships, we've got Buy Me a Coffee. You can do all that at bamageeks.com/join. Never necessary, but always appreciated. And we're a little bit late getting onto this stream because we were recording our members exclusive episode for our supporters. So, we love the fact that you're here with us tonight in the live stream, and we hope to bring you some fun. And Shane, our good friend Shane, who loves you, and who do you love? That's right. And of course, we've already had his Stephen King adjacent comment, and the remake is probably going to be closer to the short story than this movie.
Okay.
Are they remaking Running Man?
Yes, they
comes
are.
out this year.
Wow, who's in it?
Glenn Powell's going to be in it.
Okay, I'll see it just for him.
Yeah. You can. I think we actually mentioned it in the last episode because it was brought up. I think the comment about the remake was brought up. But yeah, there is because this one is just so loosely based on the book, the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Running Man, 1987. So probably so. I mean that would give it a chance to be a remake, but not necessarily an exact remake. So that would be great if that's what they would do.
Maybe to be sort of like how they did with True Grit, where the original True Grit movie was more a John Wayne movie, where the True Grit that the Coens did, it was more the book. So yeah.
Well, the book was actually based in 2025, the year in the book. So that would make a lot of sense. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real, guys. When it comes to Running Man, I'm actually really amazed that this show isn't real yet.
Dude, it really predicted. I mean, in a sense, the way the viewing of television, and then the way we risk, the entertainment part of it, the reality shows, the fear factors, the
people
in
in
the largest
forgetting about Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
we have the largest number of inmates incarcerated in the world overall. So come on, this show's perfect. Let's just get it started and give people a chance to get out.
Well, and the film actually inspired American Gladiators. So the producers of the American Gladiators sold the show with the clips from Running Man, and there was a quote that they told the network, "We're doing exactly like this except the murdering part." So
and we fired Nerf balls at everybody.
So you're saying that you're going to get Jesse Ventura in here? Yeah. We didn't say that.
No.
With a stunning toupee.
Man, that was some glorious.
Code of the Gladiators.
I don't know whose hair is more impressive, his or Jim Brown's.
Oh, no kidding. So as we're discussing the Running Man tonight, please definitely leave your comments and everything in the chat. Interact with us. We'll bring them up on screen. We'll have some fun. Let us know your thoughts. I did watch it for the very first time this past Thursday night. As everybody who is a normal listener to this podcast knows, that my short-term memory is not the best. So I'm going to be relying on these guys a lot to help me remember some aspects of it. But I will tell you my own personal bit of trivia with this right from the get-go. I did recognize without any help Miss Yvonne from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes, you did.
She was the one who chose Sub-Zero to be the stalker. She stood up and I'm like, oh, wait, what? That's Miss Yvonne. Yeah.
But it's not only with her, but it also has a somewhat Pee-wee tie-in because of his name. He was also the bodyguard for Francis's family in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Sub-Zero was, yeah.
So
Shane says just a lot of head injuries and concussions for American Gladiators.
Yeah.
But no murdering, though.
Hey, no unaliving.
No. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Oh, how dare you, Jess.
Here.
Look, we had this discussion.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. Jess has got to watch the training videos again.
When we're done, we have to go sit in the back room and fire up. So you want to be monetized?
Yes.
I mean, who would have thought I'd be the one that could possibly get us canceled?
I mean, I could go and start talking about movies I suggest that Brock watch.
No,
no.
we've already done a hide and creep.
They basically said Kevin can't suggest movies anymore.
Yeah, Professor Tanaka. That's right.
With Mr. Fuji as his manager.
Yeah.
I tell you what's funny is biggest thing I noticed from watching this movie was also the fact that it's supposed to be 2017, but everyone is still dressing like the late 80s.
Oh yeah.
Well, it started in 2017, but it started, but it also, like they said, the movie actually where Arnold gets involved with the show is supposed to be like 2 years after that. So
2020.
So between
2019,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, but that's how they thought that everyone was going to dress, exactly the way that they did at the time.
Yeah.
Same as Star Trek.
Well, I mean, look, we all know fashion is cyclical, so it may have been like by that point they kind of expected the 80s to come back, like how, like what is it, like bell bottoms and like stuff are coming back now for kids, It's like
no, 90s fashion is coming back.
Is it 90s fashion? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to get emo again?
Maybe.
I really
did it ever really go away?
I want the
That's
neon
true.
colors with the checkerboard patterns.
Yes.
You know, you know what I really want are the Coca-Cola shirts.
Yes.
With the
Yes.
Yes.
big stripe and the long sleeves, or those hypercolor shirts. You put your hands and stuff.
Yeah, that era where everyone looked like a highlighter.
Yeah.
Hey, we
That's
loved us
early
some
90s.
neon. Okay.
Yeah. And Shane says, yeah, Professor Tanaka was also the butler in Last Action Hero.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Another movie I have not seen.
Oh.
Because when it came out, the reviews were so bad on it, I just didn't bother.
Oh man.
Oh my god, dude.
Okay, I gotta
add it to the list.
All right.
Add it to the list. We'll have to do
you
this
just
one
made
too.
the list.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Jess is usually really good about pulling up the trivia, and I'm sure you probably already have, Jess. But I wanted, and I may be looking at the same page you are. I don't know if you've done look at the trivia. I wanted to mention one thing that I thought was the coolest thing about this movie, and we can discuss it if you guys remember. But Richard Dawson, you know, who's the guy who played the announcer. Right. He has the pretty much the only person in film history that had a epic one-liner response to "I'll be back." He said, "Only in a rerun."
Yes.
That was the best. I have never seen a response to that was just
It's Richard Dawson.
Perfection.
Yeah.
I didn't have that on my trivia, but yeah.
Richard Dawson didn't kiss anybody in the movie.
He did. He kissed the old lady on the cheek, not on the lips, but on the cheek.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "But no tongue."
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like he's telling himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Shane says emo is still a thing. It just became mainstream. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're talking about Richard Dawson. They had actually, like, Chuck Woolery was considered for the role, and also Burt Reynolds was considered for his role at one point in time. They said Reynolds turned it down because when he learned he turned it down because he learned he was going to be billed last, and he wanted to be billed second next to Arnold. So,
well, okay.
Understandable.
I mean, Richard Dawson was perfect for that role because he was already the first host of Family Feud.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just like he's literally a game show host in this.
Yeah.
So it's like it made it perfect. So he just like walked right in like he was in doing Family Feud.
And
we didn't lose with Richard Dawson doing it.
Yeah. He had his acting chops. He was in Hogan's Heroes. So I love Richard Dawson. He was one of my all-time favorite game show hosts.
Well, see, that's like with me. Like when me and my wife got together, she used to watch a lot of the old Match Game on the Game Show Network, and like anytime he and Charles Nelson Riley were together, that episode was wonderful. So
I will not. If I'm catching Match Game, it's got to have its criteria. It's got to have Charles Nelson Riley. It's got to have Richard Dawson, Fannie Flagg or Betty White. Of course, Betty White.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are kind of my match. If I'm going to sit and watch a Match Game episode, so. And Richard was always good. Everybody wanted Richard. Everybody always wanted Richard. He was really in sync with everybody's thought process in that game. So, yeah.
All right. So, in starting off the movie, Arnold is flying a helicopter, and his job is to get rid of a unarmed group of people down below who's just trying to get food.
Right.
Well, to go investigate it. They're going to investigate it. That's really all it is to begin with. And then he gets ordered to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So my question is, was this a setup as this game show? Was he set up from because I've not read the book. Was this set up because later in the movie they're replaying that exact scene for him? So how are they filming that?
That's one of those things. Yeah, it's
movie magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book, it wasn't about it had nothing to do in the book with that scenario. That's not why he joined the games in the book. So this is another reason why, loosely based. So I did find that out.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier, honey, that there's really there's really not a lot of similarity.
No, basically the only thing that's similar is the society in which, the world is in at the moment, and his character name in the book is his character name in the movie. And the game, I mean, the show is similar concept, book to movie. So those are really about the only similarities between the book and the movie.
Okay. Shane says it depends on the cut. Newer cuts have this. So we watched it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll assume that's one of the newer ones.
Did you guys stay and watch through the credits?
Yes.
Did you see the sponsorship message at the end?
No, I think
there was what was it? This is where my short-term memory just goes out on me. There was something at the end, and I laughed about it because it was like an announcer
reading off a sponsorship.
And
it was textual, right? But it's they were, and I have it over here, but it was funny as crap because it was like The Price is Right, and the announcer just reading off who was sponsoring it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, okay. I do remember laughing at that at the end.
And do you know who was the voice of the announcer?
Who?
Roger Bumpus, who is Squidward Tentacles.
And and for us, if we're talking Ghostbusters, the Lewis of RGB.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right.
I don't know if we want to put that up there.
Hang on, I'm looking.
I don't think we do. That's great, Chase.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. We're not going to share Wu-Tang Clan lyrics.
Richard Dawson is in a Wu-Tang.
So Chase, welcome in, Chase. Yeah, Chase put up some Wu-Tang Clan lyrics, and Kevin has opted not to show that. So we'll just say that Chase says, I always thought that was hilarious that Richard Dawson made it into a Wu-Tang lyric.
Hey, he's a cultural icon.
Yes, he was.
I want to read this sponsorship message for everybody because I've got it up over here. You guys ready?
Yeah.
The Running Man has been brought to you by Breakaway Paramilitary Uniforms,
yes,
Oath or Pure Procreation Pills, and Cadre Cola. It really hits the spot. Promotional considerations paid for by Kelton Flamethrowers, Wainwright Electrical Launchers, and Hammond and Gates Chainsaws. Damon Killian's wardrobe by Ches Altone, 19th century craftsman for the 21st century man. Cadre Trooper and Studio Guard sidearms provided by Colchester, the pistol of patriots. Remember, tickets for the ICS Studio Tour are always available for Class A citizens in good standing. That sounds really ominous. If you would like to be a contestant on The Running Man, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to ICS Talent Hunt, care of your local affiliate, and then go out and do something really despicable. I'm Phil Hilton. Good night and take care. I love that. You got to be a Class A citizen in good standing.
Yeah.
Got that social credit system, baby.
Well, that's like you was talking about other people in the movie. One of Dweezil Zappa. He was the young kid in the beret.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him until this viewing around, and I was looking on IMDb. I was like, oh, okay, now to see, because my introduction to him was when his head was shaved when he had that show on USA with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ready to Rumble.
And Mick Fleetwood also in the movie.
I can't believe you guys haven't also mentioned the director.
Oh, no, I had that note. I did have that note, by the way. Yes.
And where he's from and what he's famous for?
Yes. Director Paul Michael Glaser, who was also Detective Starsky and Hutch.
Wow.
Nice. So, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm telling you.
Okay, Brock, you were talking about the beginning, and we were trying to figure out whether or not that was foreshadowing for the end. Like
no. I know where I was going. Mick Fleetwood, was that makeup, or was he really that old?
Look,
in 87.
Hey, Mick's lived a hard life, okay?
But he's still alive and kicking, right?
Yes, he is still alive. Yes.
Looking like that in 87?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was grandpa level in 87, looking like that.
Yeah. Well, what
I'm trying to, and I'm sorry, I'm looking off screen. I'm looking at Jess because she is a Fleetwood Mac aficionado.
Mm-hmm. You know it. He is Mick Fleetwood he's 77 years old. So
he looked 77 in the movie.
He did. He really did.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
But they they might have aged him a little bit for the film. They may, it's possible.
Well, if they did, he's natural looking.
Well,
they did a good job.
It wasn't until I watched this movie a couple of times. Yeah, he that old for sure.
He that old.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't until I watched this movie a couple of times, and of course, if you knew anything about like the famous musicians from that era, you knew it immediately. But the choreography, was Paula Abdul.
Yep.
And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's Paula Abdul. That's literally her stuff."
Yeah. And as soon as I saw her name in the credits, I about jumped off the couch. I love me some Paula.
And some of the dancers were, in fact, Laker girls. So there you go.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
There we go. I did not know that.
Makes a lot of sense. So
It's funny.
I wonder if that's why they're like Arnold's jumpsuit was that color, because that's close to Lakers color.
Yeah, that's close to the color of the area.
A little bit.
Yeah, that gold
Probably a
thing.
deal they made.
Yeah, could be. I mean, they made a deal with Coors and everything else because they had the signage hanging up in the camps.
Yeah, that.
That was still a thing at that point in time.
You just had to have product placement and stuff. I mean, that's just the thing.
Well, it's funny. They had Cadre Cola, but like there's one shot where they're at the vending machine when he's walking by, and there's a vending machine that has Cadre and it has the Coke. Like there was a couple of the Coca-Cola stuff there.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they just didn't want to do the product placement or the Cadre Cola was just the cola of that world.
I would dare say it's kind of like with Fallout, Nuka-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just their world. And plus, I'm sure Coke didn't want a billboard of theirs destroyed into the movie like Cadre's was.
Yeah.
I didn't ever really think of that, but that's actually a good point. I don't think they would want that.
Yeah.
They just want it to be shown and not like hyper focused on like that and the destruction. Because that makes sense.
Well, Miller Beer, they didn't care in Maximum Overdrive. Everything was destroyed, including the movie.
The movie was a fever dream.
The movie caused a lot of fevers.
So it's funny that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was. You go ahead, Bo.
I was just saying, made me think. Now we're talking about like with the TV show. Now you have two favorite fictional networks. You have is it ISS
ICS.
ICS is the Running Man, and then IBC is for Scrooge. So it's kind of I guess some reason why the networks had to have the I in it. But I'm thinking this just one of those random thoughts I'm rattling. So.
But that does not top the best fictional network of all time in UHF.
That's true.
Keeping with this being the quintessential 80s action movie, we also have the musical composition of Harold Faltermeyer in there, who also brought us the classic Axel F. And also did composition for Top Gun as well. So there you go, another key 80s thing about this movie,
which if they're remaking it with Glenn Powell, kind of ties in.
Well, that's true. It was in Top Gun Maverick.
Yep.
So.
Well, you're gonna forget about that awesome song at the end of "Restless Heart" by John Parr.
Oh, John Parr, man, yeah. Brock was like, "This ain't no St. Elmo's Fire," but
I kept throwing in St. Elmo's Fire lyrics. Same guy.
Same guy. That's right. Yeah, John Parr had a banger there.
Oh yes, Chase.
Yeah.
Let us not forget the Clamp Cable Network from Gremlins 2.
That might be another one of the top favorites.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna get a Gremlins 3, I hear. So that's gonna be awesome.
Are we?
Yeah.
They've been saying that for 30 years.
They're actually actively talking about it now. So
they said it about Ghostbusters.
No, they're also talking about Goonies again too. So.
Oh my God.
Another Goonies movie. Yeah.
Will it be good enough?
But.
Oh, see what you did there. Yeah. It's good enough for me.
Yeah.
It's the quest to find that pirate ship that just floated away.
That's right.
Years and years ago.
Oh, maybe they captured. All right, Maria Conchita Alonso was her role. I guess just 80s trope. She's fighting with Ben throughout the entire thing. She's the one who gets him caught and everything, and then very quickly at the end they're making out.
That's just
the standard 80s
Yeah.
You tried to kill me. I'll kiss you anyway.
Yeah.
But when they caught her and put her into the game, they really got the name on her uniform very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That was just one of the details I picked up of, all right, we got her, get her, change her into different clothes. And they'd already had her name printed on
they just got a screen printer there, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ready to
gotta
go.
be.
It's like the company that makes the uniforms for the Pee Wee football team. The dude's just back there with a screen printer ready.
Yeah.
quick iron on, put this letter. Good.
And they literally put it on her and then stick the iron on it.
Shane said they have an animated show for Gremlins. That was enough for me.
Yeah.
Oh, and Katie. This time, all the Gremlins and Goonies are women.
That's great.
Boy, didn't we have enough of that with Ghostbusters?
Oh.
The fans will. Well,
My
the
childhood
so-called fans.
My
will.
childhood's
no.
ruined now.
It
It's so ruined.
can
now.
only be directed by Paul Feig.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's right.
You've got to do Goonies by Paul Feig. That's the only way to do it.
I will say
Oh.
that there's a little bit of trivia that I saw about this movie. When Arnold Schwarzenegger ran for governor, he rode around in a campaign bus and named it after Running Man.
Yeah.
So his campaign bus was the Running Man.
Oh, wow.
Well, and this movie also, it not only Arnold going on to be a governor, but also Jesse Ventura. So
Yep.
two
Yeah.
preacher governors
Yeah.
featured in this movie. I mean,
Well-
and this was along the same times as Predator. In fact, they pushed the release dates out a little further from each other just to keep it from being too much competition with the other
Yeah.
movie too at that time. So.
Supposedly, the reason that Jesse Ventura got invited to this movie was because of their relationship in Predator.
Yeah.
Was it the Running Man that Jesse was talking about in an interview with? He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he mentioned something about. I don't know if it was Running Man, but he said that Arnold wanted him for Running Man, and so Jesse started negotiating with the studio.
Yeah.
And so, or was it? He wasn't in Commando, was he? Was it Commando?
No.
No.
He wasn't in Commando.
No,
Okay.
just
So-
Predator.
So, it may have been
Yeah.
this then.
Right. I think
When-
it had to do with these two movies. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they couldn't come to the studio couldn't come to an agreement with Jesse, and so Arnold or Jesse called Arnold and said, "Hey, they're not budging," and Arnold called the studio and was like, "Give him what he's asking,
Mm-hmm.
put him in."
Man had power over Hollywood at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He did. I mean, that point in time, as far as the action movies goes, he was
King.
dominating it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bo.
I'd say another person that showed up in this movie. I forget how he likes to show up in 80s movies, but Kurt Fuller.
Yes.
Yes. And this was actually his first.
Hardemeyer.
This was actually listed as his first film debut. So yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what my trivia said about Kurt Fuller.
Well, and this was and kind of morbid here, I guess, but this was oddly enough was Richard Dawson's last film.
Mm-hmm.
Was his last, and Erlen von Lith, the guy who plays Dynamo, was also his. He literally died the year this came out.
Wow.
He died right before.
And he looked fairly.
Yeah.
I mean, he was big, but I mean, he looked fairly healthy at the time.
Yeah.
And he is actually. Erland is actually a classically trained baritone opera singer. So
You
the
could
opera
tell.
that was being sung, that was him. That was actually him singing it.
Yeah.
So I thought
I really like Dynamo in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a fun character with all the electricity.
I've seen a guy at DragonCon a couple of times that does that costume.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, that character was great except for the part at the end.
Yeah.
The R word part. With
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm not going to say that word because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to go to
YouTube jail.
YouTube jail like Jess did.
Gamma Geeks training session.
Yeah, this is actually Kurt Fuller's first film debut. Prior to that, he had just been in TV shows and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, this is where he got his off and running start with movies.
That's awesome.
And playing just that very similar
Slimy
type of
character.
type of individual. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, the footage of the attacking helicopters in the movie is from King Kong, the 1976. I didn't realize that. That's crazy.
Is that the version with Faye Dunaway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And Jeff Bridges, right? Jeff Bridges, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Shane says, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name.
Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what other trivia things you got? Like I'm trying to rack my brain. It's been a long weekend.
Okay, so also Dolph Lundgren, Christopher Reeve, and Patrick Swayze and Don Johnson were considered for the main role prior to Arnold being casted. And also one thing we're talking about too is the way things in this movie that we see nowadays. It also had the deep fake technology in it when they, when they were trying to convince them, that Arnold's character had been killed.
Ben Richards.
Yes. Yeah. So they use the deep fake technology, which is something that is, is prevalent now in this time. And
especially with Arnold.
Yeah.
I do see Arnold like in various times just pop up anywhere.
So another cool piece of trivia is when Arnold's escaping from the prison, he wears a World's Gym shirt.
Yeah.
And he owned World's Gym at the time.
I was wondering, that makes sense now.
It's a little self-promotion there.
Yeah. Of course, I love his beautiful fake beard he's sporting.
Yes, that was amazing. Yeah, the whole scene at the beginning where they're trying to escape, but then they've got those old 80s tech barriers around, and they're trying to hack it with in typical tech like GUI screens, user interfaces. He can't put the number in because the guy on the other side's fighting with his number, and they're fighting each other. And I'm like, yeah, this is like watching MacGyver or something.
That's like, it's one of those funny things like you're talking about, like with the technology. Like anytime I watch something that's supposed to be futuristic, I love how CRT monitors and stuff are still very prevalent. Where today, nothing has a CRT monitor anymore. That's just one of them little neat details I always like. Yeah.
This movie must be from the 1900s. Look at the monitors.
Yeah. It was funny.
That's like with Star Trek, the original series, and there's, when they're always messing with the computer, and they've got those like 8-track things that they put in all the time.
It's like, I want to say you a trivia. I was trying to think. It's the ICS building was like, it's one of Sony's buildings, because I was trying to see like what it was, because I was like, that's a really neat. Of course, it's just the main base. Like they show, the rest of it was painted, but it was really cool. I forgot which build. It's something Sony owns. I forgot what it was exactly. Let's see. Let me go through my Google history here, because I looked it up while I was watching it. Let's see.
While Bo's looking at that, another piece of trivia I didn't notice until last time the last time that I watched this, because I looked at trivia first and then went and watched for it, is that the suits that they wear have Adidas logos on them.
Yes, they do.
Yes, I didn't notice that the entire time that I've seen this. I didn't realize that there were Adidas logos on the suits.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Jess. I was laying on the couch and like, sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah.
Die by Adidas. Instead of die by Beatus.
Yeah. Yeah. The building is the Filmland Corporate Center in Los Angeles. It was owned by MGM, but then Sony bought it in '92, and it's now Sony Pictures Plaza. So that's what that building is.
And bringing up Shane's quotes as you read that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Shane's on top of it.
That's right. Shane knows, man.
I love that one of the most prominent notes that I've seen is that this movie is only based loosely on the book, and it's like that's pretty much Stephen King movies.
Yeah,
that's how it is. You pretty much have to, because the guy sometimes goes into a fever dream whenever he's writing stuff. So you kind of have to sometimes just.
At least they
figure things out.
At least he didn't direct this one.
Thankfully.
There's not enough Coke in the world. Yeah, of course, Brock, I'm not talking about that kind of Coke.
The company that makes
Cola.
Right.
Cadre.
Yes.
Yeah, not enough Cadre Cola. There you go, buddy.
It's funny though, like at times, like when I watch this movie, like especially like the whole time where Arnold goes into what is supposed to be his brother's apartment. or his like a lot of that feels very similar to a lot of the scene from Total Recall to me. I don't know why.
You know what? I
get that vibe. Okay, I've always when I was watching that, I was like, man, this is very similar to the vibe with him and Sharon Stone and Total Recall.
And Maria Conchita Alonso could have been Melina.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar vibes.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like, it was really cool. Like, I don't actually, it's probably wasn't on purpose, but that's just how it, was.
Well, Total Recall was 88. Is that right?
Yeah.
It was, I was looking at the timeline of all the movies that, he was involved with at this point in time. Cause he was cranking them out.
Yep.
He was
and
doing the big thing.
Yeah, they kind of just figured out what worked best for him and just kind of, stamped it. Yeah, it's a trope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 1990 was Total Recall.
1990. Okay.
So
just 3 years off.
Yeah, 3 years off. Yeah. He did. Actually, I didn't realize he did Twins before he did Total Recall. But yeah, we had Predator, and then Running Man came out after this one.
That's another thing, like the character of Weiss. Like at first I thought it was Shane Black again from Predator, kind of because he had that look, the glasses, nerdy guy doing all the tech stuff.
Yeah, a lot of kind of similarities a little bit in the I guess the whole action genre of it all.
The Arnold formula, yeah.
The Arnold formula, yeah.
I love how he was like, I need you to remember these numbers. And she's like, okay, I'll remember the numbers. And then it's almost like he knew he was going to die. He's like, I'm the tech guy. I'm going to die.
Have you seen me? I'm not making it out of this.
Yeah, it's not going to. He's like, I don't go to World's Gym. I'm not going to make it out of here.
I was surprised that she remembered all the numbers.
I forgot him halfway through after he done discovered them.
I'd be screwed, man.
Yeah.
Heck, I forgot her name after they introduced her. Short-term memory. Shane says a lot of his action movies are crafted for him. That's right.
Yeah.
Who would that be comparable to today?
Who?
A lot of movies that are crafted for one person, especially
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see the red one?
No.
Red one in that movie? Oh my God. That movie was like it was crafted for him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true, Bo. Yeah.
And it had J.K. Simmons in it. It was like J.K. Simmons is just like
playing
along,
amazing,
man.
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love the Transporter movies.
Yeah.
The Beekeeper, the one he did with the.
Well, I mean, there's
was pretty good.
It doesn't make it any enjoyable movie, but you're getting the same thing from that person every time you get them. I mean,
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Statham from Shane there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's almost always like action movies. You notice it's not like, other genres. It's usually like, and I think it's because we get into a pattern as well as movie watchers, is that we expect a certain type of movie from somebody. I remember Jason Statham. I remember him from when his big breakout for me, at least personally, was the Crank movies.
Yeah.
You remember those where it was Crank and Crank 2? Those movies were crazy, and I was like, okay, this guy is legit. And then he just started, action movie after action movie after action movie after that. And
it's entertainment junk food, It's kind of it's a guilty pleasure. You're enjoying it, but it's not going to be you're not expecting the highest quality, but it's good. You enjoy it for what it is.
It's not Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
So I just use that one. I mean, insert whatever classic movie you feel, but So
yeah, that's true, Shane. Tom Cruise is he's an executive producer on the Mission Impossible movies.
Oh, here's another one. Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
oh my God.
But Adam Sandler, he does his own movies, and he basically just says, okay, we're going to do a movie, and it's going to be based in Hawaii because I want to take my family to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I'll have the production company pay for it. So we're going to do a movie based in Hawaii. It's almost like they're Hallmark movies, but with Adam Sandler.
I cannot wait for Happy Gilmore 2.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to that. I hope they can strike again with that.
I ain't getting too hyped for it because you know how some of
I'm not
the
either.
legacy sequels can be, but still, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah,
they should totally do like one of those those big, because they're doing a lot of the robots now. They should do like a robot, but then make its face be Bob Barker and bring him back like an AI Bob Barker.
Hey.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're keeping talking with Running Man. So, of the Stalkers, who was your favorite? I mean, of course,
Dynamo.
I know you said Dynamo. Yeah.
Dynamo was really cool.
Yeah.
Who's the dude?
I love the little car he rode around in.
Buzzkill.
That was awesome.
Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw.
Yeah.
Buzzkiller. Yeah, Buzzsaw. Yeah.
Buzzsaw. Yeah.
Titanium coated chains or whatever they were.
Yeah. They really sold that chainsaw. It's,
they were
a middle-aged
man.
I'm like, sure. I need that just to clean the brushes.
We have to make sure that the movie audience knows this is why that thing can cut through metal. It's because it's a bigger metal.
Listen, that's a good chainsaw.
Yeah, that's a good chainsaw. Yeah,
Buy one of those.
I think I can see you going.
Yeah.
Hey.
I need that.
That is a very Bo thing to say. Now that you're at this point in your life,
Yes, yeah.
For Shane and Fireball.
Yeah. Jim Brown. That was, like I said, I don't know
one.
whose more fake hair was more impressive, Jesse's or Jim's,
Well, he's the one who had taken out the last candidates too, because they were cruising. They were just kind of hanging up in there, and they were jerky because they had been burned by Fireball.
Yeah.
So he was the one. He was the stalker that took out the last contestants that were supposedly.
Yeah.
They escaped and whatnot, and it's like, no, they didn't.
There wasn't a stalker that I didn't like. I really enjoyed every one of them. At first when
Blood shades.
Yeah.
Buzzsaw had to split.
Yes.
Yes, the quote, the liners, the quotes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a good one. Mhm.
Last season losers.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if I wonder if they just kind of let Arnold go with that, like let him do a little improv. It's like, what would you say, Arnold, if we told you this situation? What would you say? That's the line we're going to use.
Yeah.
And the thing with all the one-liners, I mean, after we finished the movie, I put in our Bama Geeks private chat for Kevin. I'm like, no wonder you love this movie so much.
Yeah.
The dad jokes and the puns were there.
Now, Plane Zero.
Dynamo, I think for me personally, I think Dynamo would have to be the one just because of the electricity and the energy. But even though at the beginning when he started singing and I'm like, what? Where is he going with this? And then he just started shooting out, bolts. And I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this. But they were all good. I liked every one of the stalkers. I thought they were fun.
And then he could be knocked out by water, like literally getting in water. And it was like, I mean, as soon as you reveal that, any of the runners are just going to find a bucket of water and throw it on him.
She says, hey, light bulb.
Hey, light bulb. Follow me.
It was like when they were talking about he was going to, go back and get Killian. He goes, you're not going to leave? He goes, well, I'd hate to be a liar,
Well, and talking about quotes and stuff, I mean, initially it was said that Arnold's character was supposed to say, I'm coming back to Killian.
Yeah.
But, the whole popularity of the I'll be back, they had to go with that. And also, just in case you were wondering, the body count in this movie was 41.
Wow.
A little bit of obscure trivia too to add to that, what Jess said here. That I didn't. I'm going to go and watch this again, and I didn't notice this. There's a poster in the movie at one point that it says "The Hate Boat."
Yeah. You can see
I
that.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
Brock caught that. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He caught that.
Yeah, when they
I
first
kind of
showed
want
it.
that poster now. I want to go see it and find that poster, and I'll put it up behind me. The Hate Boat.
There was one next to it, and I didn't catch that one, but I did catch Hate Boat. Yeah.
I mean, they really went into the dystopian in this. I mean, it's
did.
nuts.
Oh, yeah.
They did. Yeah.
I kind of want a spinoff of Love Boat now called The Hate Boat.
So the Captain Stubing is Captain Stabbing.
Look, the whole thing is, the captain is Eminem or something,
Shane says all those odd TV show posters are great. They were. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, this was a fun movie. I had never, I don't know, back there in the 80s, I just didn't have, well, granted, I mean, the rated R movies especially, I couldn't watch, even though I did sneak around and watch like Nightmare on Elm Street and everything. But this one just never caught my attention. And with the non-success of Maximum Overdrive, I was cautiously optimistic. I'm glad I was proven right to be optimistic at least.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I mean, Bo said it was going to be great. I don't remember you saying that about Maximum Overdrive, Bo. So
yeah. Like I said, Running Man's been always one of those guilty pleasures. I love. I watch if it's. I remember it used to be on. It would show up either on. I'm trying to think when it would show. It would come on USA a lot, and I remember anytime it'd be on, I'd stop and watch it. Yeah, and I can't remember the first time I watched it. It was just one of those movies. I have fond memories of it.
Yeah. Oh, and it still to this day I think still gets tossed around a lot of the Turner networks. The movies. It'll get shown every once in a while. Mm-hmm. It's the movie's just it's like a guilty pleasure a little bit, but it's also one that's more palatable. It's one that I would be comfortable sitting down, exposing someone new to Arnold Schwarzenegger to that movie as a starter. It'd be okay because then you would get all the puns and everything, and then it would be a gateway to all the rest of his punny movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should follow this up with Commando. That would be a good gateway drug to Commando.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch Commando again.
Commando's still it's not, like I said, it's not Oscar worthy, but it's still fun.
I have not seen it since the 80s.
Out of curiosity, Brock, have you seen Demolition Man?
When it came out.
Okay.
That was the last time I saw it, so I don't remember it very well.
I mean, granted, that's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, but that one is also that's a guilty pleasure of mine to watch as well.
Okay. Add it to the long list. Because I don't remember it.
I'll watch that one at least once. Yeah, usually once a year or so. I'll just pull it up and watch it. It's an easy one to watch. Sandra Bullock in her prime as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock was in it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very young Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I think it was one of her first big movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was funny.
Yes, that's what. Okay, you see Shane's quote right there. Sorry to interrupt you, Brock. Shane's quote right there is a reason that I mentioned this because there's a joke in there where she's talking about this, like the 67th Amendment or 61st Amendment to the Constitution to allow Arnold to become president because he wasn't a natural born citizen, and then he was like, wait. He was president, and anybody that knew back in the day the rivalry between Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger from movies, that was the funniest thing in the world.
Well, there's a nod and wink to that in Last Action Hero too. So, like I said, don't want to save that one too. So,
well, what I was going to say, and relating back to Sandra Bullock, I know her, one of her cousins, and he was telling me when he was telling me, and I'm not gonna reveal where I met this guy because it would give him away. But when I met him, he's like, "Did you know that I'm cousins with Sandra Bullock?" I'm like, I had no idea. How was I supposed to know? He said, "Well, we're both from Texas." I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, he said, I went over to her house. It was a couple of years before he told me this. It was during the holidays. They went over to her house just north of Austin. And he's like, I'm standing in her kitchen and we're just chit-chatting. And Matthew McConaughey walks in. And, it's like they're standing around the breakfast table. He's with Sandra and McConaughey, and I was like, that's just the life right there, man. I would love to meet Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
He was at SmackDown.
Yeah, he was at SmackDown Friday night in Austin. Mm-hmm. They got him involved. Did you see that one, Bo?
No,
yeah.
I have to look at it.
No, he and Kevin Owens went at it.
Yeah, they exchanged words with one another. Yeah, so
that's pretty good.
I'm trying to. Where Shane said we're talking about where Ventura's in Demolition Man. I'm trying to remember where he's at in it. It's been a while since I watched Demolition Man myself.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it too. Probably like Brock, much more like when it just came out. Was I think the last time.
You guys don't know how to use the 3 seashells.
No, I know about the 3 seashells. I know about that. that thing kind of sticks with you.
I've heard about the 3 seashells. Is it kind of like the 3 corn cobs?
Let's not go into that. That not YouTube.
It's clean. It's clean.
Yes. Yeah. Let's not. Yes.
Old comedian friend of mine from back home. He was an old country comedian. Yeah. He's like he was an old farmer as well. He's like, when we were farming, we would always have to.
Yeah.
When we went out to the field, we'd have to take 3 corn cobs with us, a red, a white, two reds and a white. We'd first use the red one, and then we use the white one to see if we needed to use the other red one.
Wow.
I did not need that visual, man.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
Nothing.
Oh.
That sounds painful.
Like shells don't?
Oh, wow.
Well, at least they're like scoops.
Oh, man.
You opened this door, okay?
The highest quality here, folks, here at Bama Geeks.
Always.
Look, that joke came from a born and bred Alabama man, okay? So, just run with it.
He would have been perfectly fine learning the 3 seashells at that point. Oh my god. Okay, how did this get into Demolition Man? I'm so sorry. Can we get us into Demolition Man?
Well, we just got to talk about the actors,
action movies, things like that. Yeah. So.
Oh my.
But I'm.
Bravo, Chase. Bravo.
He's been loading that one up. He's like, I know they'll go into a dark corner in a minute. Watch.
So for our audio listeners, Shay says, but Wu-Tang was too extreme. Okay, Brock. Like,
we have nothing to say to that.
I
you
think
got us.
That's you
valid.
can't top that one.
Valid.
Yeah.
Absolutely valid.
We're still not going to show that.
We had no idea at the time the Wu-Tang comment was made, or that we'd be, leading up to this later in the episode. So,
yeah. Core memories unlocked.
Chase with that long-term storytelling.
Well.
Little did we know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I'd hate to say it like this. I think we touched on a lot of good points about the movie and things that we liked about it, and Brock enjoyed it. So
I did. I really did enjoy it. This was one of the recommendations that has pleasantly surprised me so far.
And I think we've got some pretty good. I think we still got some pretty good recommendations in there.
Yeah,
we're working up to you watching Glorious at this point. So.
No,
I did go watch. I did go watch the trailer though. It was like,
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, Jess, you didn't watch.
Okay, I want your trailer.
Does the trailer have J.K. Simmons' voice in it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Jess, how was the trailer?
It's exactly what Kevin said, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's interesting. I don't know if I want to sit down and watch the movie though. But
just from Kevin's description, I don't want to watch the movie. Labyrinth is on deck.
Yeah.
Labyrinth is coming very soon. I have not seen Labyrinth ever, and I know that it was just announced that they're about to redo that one. Or a sequel. Is it a sequel?
Are they?
How are they going to do that? No way.
Oh,
I hope don't
not.
do that.
Yeah,
is Jim Henson Company at least involved?
I have no idea. I just saw like this week. I saw they're going to do a sequel,
which means it would be Disney, right? Because Disney owns Jim Henson Studio, right?
I would imagine.
A company.
I'm not looking. Jesse, you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. I don't want this.
40 years after the original, Nosferatu Director Robert Eggers is making a sequel to David Bowie's
Nosferatu director.
Oh man, cult fantasy labyrinth.
Return of the Codpiece.
Yeah, you're correct.
There's okay. Shane,
it's out there in the universe.
Shane says there are sequels and prequels, but they're not connected. So that is that Labyrinth is not going to be connected to it at all. But it's going
to be so confusing. I honestly think that the little worm is like the architect from Matrix, and he just like he's like the one who creates all this stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The little inchworm. Hello.
No idea what you're talking about.
You'll understand. You'll understand. There's a point in the movie where the protagonist is trying to figure out which way to go, and she looks down, and there's this little worm in the labyrinth that she's talking to, and he's trying to get her to come into this little hole in the wall when she's ginormous compared to him, and she goes one way, and then he's like, well, if she'd have gone that way, she'd have gone directly to the castle. So it was like she could have quickly ended the movie if he'd have listened to the guy. But
he had to be the little agent of chaos there.
Yes, that's the reason I think that he's like he's the architect of all of it.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I had her muted because I was coughing. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Robert Eggers. Yeah.
All right. So Shane says the prequels are short stories and manga that tells the stories of Jared before he became the Goblin King.
Well, I mean, and that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Okay. I could deal with something like that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of good to know a little bit more about him, but I don't know. Maybe I'm an old fuddy-duddy, but I don't really think I care to know more about him, honestly. I mean, I'm sure there are people who do. I know of many women, girls, whatever at the time that I dated that were like absolutely in love with Labyrinth and all the stuff around it. So they may want to see it, but for me, I'm just perfectly fine with the movie the way it was. He was the antagonist of the film. He had a codpiece, and that's what we need to know. The Bog of Eternal Stench, and yeah.
Brock, you'll learn all these things soon.
Okay. Well, like I said, Labyrinth is coming up soon. I don't know when we'll do it. Maybe next episode. But the one after, before we get to that, let's check out Shane's comment. Sequels, a mixed bag of the world after Jared leaves the world, or Jennifer Connelly's character's brothers when she disappears or stumbles into the world of Jared.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Take your word for it. I don't know what any of that means.
That's Greek. That's complete Greek to
that's
Brock
Greek to
at this
me.
point.
But as I was saying, Labyrinth maybe next episode. We'll see. We'll discuss. Episode after that, we're hopefully going to do something fun, special. We are knocking on the door of episode 100, y'all.
Can you believe it? 100 episodes of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
We would have gotten
Jess has tolerated me this entire time. It's been amazing.
Come on now.
It's never tolerance. Never tolerance.
Come on now.
100.
Yeah. So tonight's is episode 98, 99 will be potentially Labyrinth. We'll see. And thank you, Advisory 6000.
Thank you very
Congrats
much.
on 100.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Hey, do we need to do like the kids do at school and dress up like old people? When
they don't need to dress up.
The 100 days.
From our member episode, you guys were asking me who we point the T-shirt cannon at. It's at Advisory 6000. So that kind of comment gets a T-shirt, right?
That's right. I say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to do for episode 100 yet. We're going to all sit down and brainstorm off camera, but March will be 4 years for us as well. So
guys, just so you know, I'm pushing for a dunking tank.
Mike, we know a lot of Mikes.
Yeah.
That Mike. Okay. Yeah. That Mike. Which Mike?
Are you Mike from Houston, from Texas?
I know his username on other things, and I don't think so.
Is that Mike from as in yeah, that Mike.
Oh, hey, Mike. Okay.
That Mike.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mike, we don't have to do the T-shirt.
Mike
Wazowski.
Wazowski.
Give you a
That's
T-shirt.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
Wazowski.
Thank you, Mike Wazowski.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so when we actually do produce memorabilia and
Swag and
stuff like that, Mike will give you a shirt.
No, we're not doing that now. We know it's Mike. So I'm proposing for the 100th episode, we do a dunking tank, and we'll put Mike in it.
Yeah.
He's a Patreon supporter. Should we really treat him like that?
You
On
know
top of
what?
being a friend?
You know what? That's
What's
what
that?
you get for being a Patreon supporter. You get to be in the dunking tank.
Your $5 a month makes you wet.
There you go.
There
See?
you go. Let's
He's
go.
got it.
Peace
Let's
out.
go.
Thanks for doing what you want to do for this podcast. We
Yeah, I sincerely appreciate that. Thanks for your money. We're just gonna dunk you.
It's Brock. It's all about the marketing. It's the privilege of being
Yeah,
a dunk tank. It's so Bo doesn't have to do it.
Exactly.
I've been in a dunking tank before.
I've knocked you in the
I have
dunking tank
done
before.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, Brock, he had the pleasure of dunking me in the dunking tank one
That's
time.
right.
Yeah, it's fun actually. It is.
Baptism by
fun.
softballs.
It needs to be in the summer though.
Of course,
Yes.
yeah.
We're
There's no
not
dunking
doing
tank
the
going on.
polar. Yeah, not
Yeah.
doing the polar plunge right now.
Our good
Ooh.
friend Phil did a polar plunge over the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes,
See him
he
and
did.
some of the Tennessee Ghostbuster folks did
Mhm.
one.
No.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, sorry.
I've been wrapped up on a blanket for 3 days.
I like warmth,
I'm old now.
and we hope everybody's thawing out from all the snow and ice. If you've experienced that,
We need everything back to plane zero.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's been as far as at least on the Celsius scale, it's been sub-zero. Absolutely.
Like you said, if you live in the South and you bought a red parka, this is the time that you use that red parka
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Very-
Jay says, we regret to inform you your session is being demonetized due to the following statement. Your $5 a month gets you wet.
well,
I thought that, but I wasn't going to say it.
well, it was a good run while we had it.
Now Mike is really in.
Now, just to make it up to Chase, we need to do a Wu-Tang heavy episode.
Oh, God.
I'm down.
Wu-Tang is something to mess with. Just for Chase.
Well, I am super glad that you enjoyed the movie, Brock. No, this is we are now 1 for 1 with that, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we've got a couple of good ones lined up.
We still have Goonies to go. We still have Labyrinth. We still have
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China. We've got a lot of ones I thoroughly know I'm going to enjoy because Jessica likes these movies. So if Jessica and I have the same brain, we really, really do. I'm driving to her work the other night and she's like, hey, do we want to get a Red Baron's pizza? 3 minutes earlier, before I pulled into her workplace, I was thinking, maybe we ought to go grab her like a Red Baron pizza tonight. Legitimately, that happened.
Yes.
We have shown a clip.
Wow.
We've shown a clip on our social media of us and how we think. So, yeah. So if Jess is going to like something, I'm going to like something, unless it's pickles.
Yeah.
I will say I am looking forward to the Goonies though, because this past week I watched the Goonies with someone who hadn't seen it before as well, and just seeing the reaction was really fun. Of a lot of the parts and a lot of things that go on in the movie. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how you react to that one, because that's a very, very good movie.
And Corey Feldman does not have a Rambo tough guy voice in the Goonies. So
Yes.
And Sean Astin's in it, and Sean's coming to Iron City Comic Con.
Yep.
Here in Birmingham soon. So I'd like to be able to go up and say, sir, I enjoyed you in the Goonies. Not just Stranger Things, like all the other little Gen Zers know you from.
I just saw it last year, or I just saw it like a couple months ago or something.
Sorry, I'm late.
yes. Yeah, Shane, I pull up Shane's comment here. Yes, I want Brock to know what Jack Burton says at a time like this. Yes. So that's a Big Trouble in Little China reference. So
that movie is so off the rails weird. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
It is another definitely, the 80s action product of its time. But
semi-truck culture. Yes.
Yeah.
And Shay says the group got their name from a series of low-budget kung fu movies from the 60s called Wu-Tang movies. I suggest Drunken Wu-Tang. It is off the rails and hilarious. Put that on the list. Put that on the list.
Put it on the list.
Yep.
Shane says Goonies also have Kwan.
Yeah.
Academy Award winner.
Yeah. Sorry, how do you pronounce his middle name?
His name is Short Round. Just call him Short Round.
Yeah, Short Round. Yeah,
it's got Short Round. Yes.
By the way, just a non-sponsored endorsement of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. If you haven't played that game yet from Bethesda, highly recommend it. I think I did that earlier in an earlier live stream. I'll do it again because I'm back to playing it. Troy Baker as Harrison Ford is perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
It's a fun game. Very fun game. So yeah, okay. Well, somebody remember that name, Drunken Wu-Tang. Ki Hui Kwan. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
But
Shane.
he wasn't using that as his name. He wasn't using that as his name at the time that Goonies was shot. He was going under Jonathan because at that time they figured like nobody's gonna want
John Kwan.
He wasn't using his true name at that time. He was going under the name Jonathan. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, all right.
I mean, if I was him, I would have just renamed my name to just call myself Short Round.
Yeah.
At that point, I mean, gosh. You guys know me. I've been pulling for, I'm one of the weirdos. It's like my favorite Indiana Jones movie is Temple of Doom. I've always been that way. And everybody's like, why do you think that? I'm like, it's got Short Round. It's amazing. And then imagine how I felt when he goes and gets in the movie and he's like Academy Award winner, Short Round.
Yeah.
I'm like, I knew what I was talking about. That was a talent there.
I foretold.
I still need to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I do too.
God, that movie is so awesome.
Yeah, we've not watched that. We've talked about it. It's been it's one of the movies we talked about, but we have not.
Make sure you get you plenty of popcorn, Jess, because it is a long movie to watch. It is a long movie. It has you'll get to a certain part and then it'll be like, this is chapter 1. Now we're going to chapter 2. And it's oh my gosh. Wow, this movie is long. It's very, very good, but it's a long movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, final verdict on The Running Man is thumbs up.
Yes.
Absolutely thumbs up.
2 Cadre Colas up.
That's right. Wonder if it has the same amount of caffeine as Jolt.
Probably.
I would be willing to bet that Cadre Cola has the other kind of Coke in it.
Be careful. I got in trouble last episode for saying that word too much.
Sprite.
I just don't want you to be alone and having to do a re-education for preventing demonetization.
I appreciate
we
that.
can both watch the VHS tape.
Got my VCR right over there on Still do. So, well, we are going to wrap up the stream then. Thoroughly enjoyed you all being here. And thank you so much for the comments and everything in the live chat. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on this video. And if you're catching us after the live stream, please leave a comment and tell us maybe something that you enjoyed from The Running Man, or if you've got a movie recommendation for us. That's what we're doing. We have now entered into a series of movies. As you see in the thumbnails, this is live chat recommended. That's what we're doing. We're letting you guys dictate.
Yeah.
Especially for me, these guys have seen pretty much all these movies. I have not. So tell us what you'd like us to review. And we'll certainly look into it. We've got a good list, so it might be a while, but leave us a comment. Leave us an emoji if you don't want to leave a comment. Leave I don't know, shrug. Who knows? So, but definitely, please leave us a like on the video if you're listening to the audio feed on Spotify or iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a rating. 5-star would be greatly appreciated. You can leave comments on there and reviews. We would appreciate that. Those will populate and show up on our website, bamageeks.com. And again, if you want to brave the social media landscape as it currently stands, well, you can find us for a little bit of fun and lightheartedness at Bama Geeks. Lord knows the world needs that at this moment. And also Bama Geeks Front Porch. If you're on Facebook, jump in there, join the community. We'll let you in, and you can talk about whatever you'd like in there, and we'll chime in. And also, like we said, there's no need whatsoever to financially support the podcast. But if you like what we do and want to toss us a couple of bucks, up to you. BamaGeeks.com/join. We've got our Patreon. We've got our YouTube membership and our buy us a coffee.
I love coffee.
Jess really loves coffee.
I hate coffee. Y'all can drink it. It's fine.
It has to have a lot of flavoring in it for me to.
Well, I mean, we couldn't find the website that was Buy Me a Milo's tea. So.
We could rename it that. Buy us the Milos. So yeah, any of those, like I said, no obligation whatsoever to. But if you enjoy and want to help us pay the server bill and the web hosting and all that other jazz, then certainly BamaGeeks.com/join. Greatly appreciated. Never obligated to do so, though.
But you can also be in the dunk tank. So
yeah,
come on.
Yeah. So Shane Real Quickly says, "What about Kindergarten Cop? One of my all-time favorites. Love it.
We watched it actually not too long ago.
Yep.
I watch that anytime I need an anatomy lesson. Right.
Yeah. That's right.
Jack gives us the shrug. Hey, Jack. Oh,
thanks for joining us.
Yes,
yeah, glad you joined us, man. We're just about to sign off, but if you want to go back and watch the replay and get our thoughts on the Running Man, that's what the whole hour's been about. So, but we really thank you, appreciate you. We're gonna take off. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Audio feed should be up by Wednesday. This time, we know we were a little late last time because I was out of state. But thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. For Bo, Kevin, Jess, I'm Brock. We are the Bama Geeks, and I'm going to try to find the outro video here.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
really appreciate everything. Thank you.
Love you guys so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.